So like I said, get more into the dead and Ballz Bluff. You guys are going around claiming you're tough, and then Ballz Bluffed, saying you run stuff, you're stuck on so close. And what you went into is all these guys think they're role playing and they're running different guys because they've seen things. And you're going to learn what happens when you're tossed in and someone says because they've seen it, and they have a very tough time after. And different physics were broke just by guys breaking physics and letting others in. As you can see too, it's called Catching the Greener-Eyed Monster. It's all by Ballz, and now they're wondering. I'll tell you what really happened, right? So there was a chick, blah, blah, blah. They're showing, for some reason, they're so superstitious about different men. Different men might be on medication. Different men might be talking about the mental health field. They're still on stigma. They still think things don't exist. Pushing these false claims and saying you know better when you don't is a very big mistake. And the reason why the king is still awake and walking and tugging them out is because they were actually off, right? And then this fox goes down or kills herself. So what happened at Ballz Bluff there, same thing, the chick, blah, 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 they thought there was a romance, it was me down there. Oh, it's the little redhead chick again. Oh, where does she found out, blah, 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 she's getting hit by her boyfriend. They're playing Ballz Bluff on the old boy again. Dog fucking, blah, blah, blah. They said it just snapped off, whatever. The guys were mad. They said they didn't want. It's part true too. Different guys are already in that shredding. You could break. So you're eventually doomed for it too. They said everyone's innocent. That's what they all say. You're eventually going to catch the bullet, like most guys here, and they're going to see how bad you really were. Were you like Jesus? Everyone tries to say Jesus is perfect angel. He died because it's the same thing. He fucked up. He bang, killed his wife, kids, whatever, in the argument. Same thing happens here. Domestic murder. Same thing happens to your queen here. I know it's tough. They come in the city, blah, blah, blah. Different guys. It's tough. You can get attracted. They're different. They're different from the males. They were raised different, wrong or side or whatever. That's another guy that's breaking physics, right? Just by coming in and hearing a few things. And they're not able to understand things, and you're trying to play Cain and Abel. It's because you don't know, you don't have experience. That's why you're like chickens to the Bible, right? Out of all guys, they pick the old king, they tug him out. And finally, working on my music, blah, 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 there they were using different excuses. They play an appointment scam. But nowadays you can fight back. I was expecting something too. I knew just the way they were belittling men. And you're trying to use your position. That way crumbles to the real guy. Using appointment scams and stagging because you get caught. It doesn't go. They're also ready for you. You see old Jack, the god there, or the jester god. There's already a barrier there, right? They hit the shredders. They got burned out. They tried this too, Big Willie. We know too what you're doing. Other people are fooled. Other people are like teased. That's what you're going to see here. That's why you went down. Tease anyways at the park finally showed up. There they were, same thing. They're showing. By then they're just flaring shit up, right? We're also going to learn that was complete BS. That's why Jesus died in his sin. King tugged him out. He was tossed out. That's what happens when you're kicked out and different people see you do this stuff of bombs anyways, and you come up and you're shaming and blaming. You had all these hubris issues back in the day. It's not any lighter now too. And Jesus, the story is known because it was the devil that beat him in the end with their people too. Crucified, that's what criminals got back then. It's even worse now sometimes, but they're a little bit better. There's so much going through. It doesn't slow down for you. And different people, you're wondering, as chicks, right? You're awesome as chicks, that we're saying. We prefer the chicks. So that's what all the little jacks will say too, that evolved and shit in the Zeus. So what did they do? They tried to uproot the king, right? As the main guy, sprouting the new. They weren't sure. It's just like now and blah blah blah. using that when they try to take men to space and they do all the Gus stuff, and they say it's just like old Gus, old Dave got him, but they were really bad. In this case, King tugged them out. You're gonna be burning anyways. That's why when we got up there, they were put in a blaster in their mouth. They didn't hear nothing. They thought blah blah blah. You don't hear anything. That's where you start messing up too, just like your jobs. You'll see a lot of people are in like fobs, and the bars come down. They can even big old kings in there too, right? So you got to take the burn, and they're going to see in turn there wasn't a budge on my goals, what I said, what they were claiming, and they were mistaken valor, and their queen went down too. You see, not a budge. Birdie. Oh, the mask of the bird, same thing. Mortal, same similar thing happened. It's stuck on so close all time, and that gets bopped out because you see there's other chicks lining up after they see a few things. That was, guys, that's just the middle class. They were no better as rich or poor, opposites. Not too much better from the middle class. Their houses they spent more on didn't mean they were actually more happier than just guys in a room and shit. The poor people weren't any happier living the same thing, you know. They were spending more, taking things light, and it didn't prove anything. So what they go down is by hubris and another guy's effort. Also giving the shots, but you gotta watch out because this is a fox, and the chicks, these are chicks from old dirty Ballz Bluff. They attracted all kinds of bats in their cunts. That's when you're getting old gods, and the king comes out, not a budge. And also they want to punch, they want to play the domestic violence. We have experience in that. Like I said, we bit the bullet on that, but we didn't kill anyone. It was good. Very good guys too. We like our city. To get number one from the belittling and the masters and the teas. And even if you're pretty, and then they see a pretty chick, right? So ran across the bridge. They weren't that fast. They weren't nothing special. From the middle class. This is heavyweight guy. I'm 250 right now. Underestimate the weight. They were off. They said virgins. Geez, they got enough stats. So that's like trying to end someone's stats and then go down there, run across the bridge, bang. Point it out. They know, like I said, different fault points. The wars were just other soldiers that learned, picked up. They take it very hard, but literally it was a Ballz Bluff right into the crushers with Big Willie, and they thought they were just walking. They were burning forever, right? Goes on, different wars, same thing. They actually got released, you know, they come back anyways, a lot of them, right? Just like we did over time, but we're natural. We're not. They got the harder skin. They still go down bopping, right? So, anyways, across the bridge, punched their queen in the fucking eye after. Bang, 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 right? Didn't even see it coming. What were they doing? So something broke the physics right there, blah, 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 because they thought a person was crazy, lay with animals. You're going to learn, too, not all men are crazy, just like they said back in the day. That's why you're going around, you say this stuff. We didn't assume we were Jesus, like Jesus. Came out tougher than Jesus. Tugging him out. What did Jesus? They were in the shed. What were they caught doing there again? Uprooting dog fucking with the little whatever thing they're saying. Ran off. Same thing. That was during the day before. I don't give a fuck about Hayfor. This is Canada. You could say ISIS, whatever, under. That's just the nationality. They don't even know half the guys. It's not actually. That's. And you thought bestiality was going to be rewarded. Ran off and they got butt fucked off to the lake by Pops there and shit. Well, Jack is running around barking, trying to. Jack, shut the fuck up. You're in my hair and out back. So now they're really flaring shit up. Other guys seen that and they were nowhere near. Did a little skip in the water. They looked around. So treating men as minors and shit didn't prove nothing, and going around uprooting, and then not stopping yourself and biting the dust. What is it now? Jack's tugged out. It's biting the dust. Jesus biting the dust. Well, Jesus is still there. It's tugging on, right? It doesn't stop there as the people. You're going to see it doesn't stop. It's a big press. It goes right till she's flooded, and we tug her out as a king. might be the one, but what happened in the end, dipped in from the top of the hill, there's the old redhead cunt from the blonde cunt, shit it out, boom, 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 boom. The Jude didn't even know that Jude wanted to kill himself. So what draws a line with the bat, right? And you're in mating heat, and they're M people. They have psychological effect. That's what they put in their cunt after, and were treated by cruel people like at the concert. Now the guys learn to squeeze out. Okay, they've been squeezed. There's something too big there, Bob. You're done, right? Other people fail that. They get caught behind the lines. Same thing with the guy that they've assumed dominance with, but they're at ghost too. You're going to see they do not run that kind of people with temper. Things don't stop. Your errors, you don't get to run around. That's how Jesus got shredded. That's how they die. They thought that they could put their hand. Nowadays, there's guys shredders. They put their hand in the shredders, and they don't want to do it. And not only that, it's to the point. It's the water shield. Look at Triton. Crush, crush, crush. Same thing. Guys think they're running. Dudes in the West got dog fucking. Right away, tried to get panicked, tried to run everything, but they don't run guys at Ace, right? A lot of guys at Ace, they run a quiet life just like this. It might be taking medication or drugs or in a wheelchair or difference. That's why man 1, 2, we stuck in there, not a budge. They thought they had old man as the fox and coming back after staying, and look, people are not even at that level, right? But the kings, some kings were, and that's who they said in. Come in, boom, 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 old Roman times. See in the card? I even have it kicking around somewhere here. Yeah, so this one here, here's a big old devil. If you see back in those times, same thing, the old king got him, the crusher. They didn't even know who was behind that. That's the funny thing. That's how they mask it. Because it would be too easy then, right? Too easy to control things. What happens when someone says, you're a little minor, I can backstab you. They were feeling anyways off to take the burn. Let's see if they can take the burn. Just pulverize their son there, right? I mean, teaching other people that they're not going to be able to walk away eventually at some point. You know, if you're too bad, you're going to go down. If you're murdering people over joints and shit, and tossing bitches out, and beating them. I learned why. A lot of them are chickens, are trying to go perfect. But look at them, that was Leatherface, right? So trying to perfect and white it out, and then make big faults after. Like I said, you got to bite in. And it wasn't just all week, it wasn't just actor. And it's still going on. What did they do? They rewarded a pot puss, same thing. That's like rewarding a dummy and mistaking the real rapper, going around flashing your cunt. I get all the cunt, I'm hera, I'm a man, down playing the faggots. Think they run Western men. That's called hubris. Don't push false claims, because pushing false claims doesn't run anything. Especially when you think you have a lump sum looking for profit. What does Jesus have now? Is he moving to profit? Probably by the king. We're doing it the right way now, guys. You're lucky. He's usually just eliminated, right? So this is their little second look back and blah, blah, blah. Rambo versus Cambo. There was Rambo. I don't even know Rambo. And the other guy, they got the Ken Creed in there. That's just another buddy running around, right? Old buddy too. Done now. And that's just how an evolution, that's how things push when they're knocking guys' movement. And then they get greased. You see, click, 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 click. Same thing. And guys thought, other guys can't do this and that, but it's all the same around too, and it's a lot more weight. And watch, a lot of them are nothing better than the middle class. Middle class is oppresses rich fucks going around called spoiled. That's what they all say, but it then foiled, right? What happens, right? By nature, if you're pushing that, you're in a shredder. Other people took it, they're going to test your valor, and they weren't anything special, not even hitting 30K tough. Guys can hit 30K all the time, all day. I mean, so you went over your head, false claims. It's not Judge Dredd. It's not a cop, right? So by then, role players are knocked off by real, and then we leave other people for the others to squeal.